Hey, how's everybody doing? This is the second week of Reds Reviews. We're just going to be looking at a couple of things here. Um, Currently, going to go over the NFL. I'm going to go over the college basketball that is coming November 5th. Going to be looking at some of the things that I'm dealing with on the live wagering and probably some settings that I'm going to put on. So let's get into it. So Patriots 8-0, no surprise there, boring. Chiefs are doing pretty well in the AFC West, 5-3. Ravens are a surprise for me, 5-2. Colts are also a surprise for me, 5-2. Texans are right there behind them in their category. I'm looking at that as well as something that you know we're gonna be following. I'm not really sure the Cowboys have the depth to maintain their 57% winning ratio right now, but hey, what are you going to do? 49ers, let's talk about them for a second. So Garoppolo is actually doing very well considering the fact that the rest of his team isn't that great. They are 7-0, and hopefully they do continue on this trend. Saints, it's also a surprise to me, 7-1. Their division isn't the easiest, and what I actually look at in most of these cases is any team that can do well on the road. Most of these teams have had a couple of road games now that were probably going to be tough, and they lost those games if they aren't the deepest team. However, the ones that are good on the road are the ones that generally hold through and get into the playoffs, do some Super Bowl action, and that's generally my trend on what I try to look at any important games coming on the NFL. Now let's move on to the college basketball. Louisville is going to be a stacked team this year. Kansas is going to be a stacked team this year. Michigan State is ranked number 1 in their preseason games, considering they have 2- and 3-year return veterans on their staff or their team this year. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be a pretty balanced year. I'm not really sure how they're going to hold up if any injuries happen, if they even gel the way that they need to make this a great season for any of those major, top tier teams. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I do know that in the live wager, I'm going to keep it down to like a 50 max wager per event, just because I don't want to really stress out a bunch of things, and that's just in the first week. So I can maybe up it later on if anybody's, if it is a balanced field and there's not any crazy things going on, we'll take it from there. I also wanted to cover that this week I noticed a change in the provider that is offered to the players, and it looks 100% better. I'm not going to throw any of the things that I saw, the last weeks under the bus because it's done its job, but the new one looks really good. So if you haven't checked it out, or if there's any way that you have access to that to check it out yourself, you can check on the layoff accounts or whatever in your agent ID, or you can just log into one of your player accounts if you're using the service already. Then again, I mentioned before that I ended up on the PayPerHead stuff, and they've been doing a lot of good stuff for me. So let's move on to the actual NFL wagers that I took. This last week was pretty good to me. I did get a little evening on the Sunday. It did balance out somewhat, but I ended up making about a dime, which isn't bad. Again, for a week, and anticipating that the NBA was going to be a little bit, tougher for me. I did eke out a little bit of money on that, a little bit on the juice, just because of the volume increase, and that's how it's going to roll. So if you are looking to make a little bit, I would recommend just keeping the limits a little bit low on the first week, a couple of weeks of the NBA as well, and on the college basketball that it is coming. Make sure that all your stuff is set up, and that you are able to do that. One cool thing that I did actually take advantage of this week was the credit deposits. Normally I'd be chasing paying my PayPerHead balance. This week I don't even have to look at it because I had some guys use their credit card, my players, and it went straight into my account. And if I do have to pay them, I can pay them on the street if I wanted to. And I also did get notification that they're going to be doing a way to credit the credit cards back that my players used, apparently. I don't know when it's going to be done. I don't know. They just gave me a little bit of information on that. So when that is done and I'm able to do that, it's even better. But for the time being, it's great that I can just take the deposits like that. So I don't have to look or run to MoneyGram Western Union, stress over my credit card deposits, or finding Bitcoin or whatever's going on this week, and that's a major plus for Mr. Red over here. I don't care. So if you like the content or if you want to find out more about what I'm doing, like, subscribe, and follow, and happy gaming.